as it doesn't work.
I don't know why it keeps pushing that audio to the wrong place.
Well, where do you have this audio going to? No. Go to your sound thing. Where do you have output?
That might have something to do with it. Yeah.
Did you not hit apply?
Yes, I hit apply.
I don't think you did.
Yeah, I don't know why it's not. I don't know. I got to work on that.
Yeah, you say you got to work on it. Never happens.
All right. Well, let's start this intro over again. 1, 2, 3.
What is going on, everyone? Welcome to the Spidercast Podcast, the podcast where a father and son go down the rabbit hole, talking tech, gaming, and sometimes the meaning of life.
And today we're going to talk about Sony. We're going to talk net neutrality, Writers Guild removing video games, Wendy's tabletop RPG, the McDonald's McRib, AMD CPU delays, and more.
You know, if we were talking about the McDonald's McRib, why don't we have them in front of us?
Maybe because I made tacos for dinner.
Still would have been a good idea.
I thought about it.
Of course you did. But we would have had to get mine without the pickles. And
well, I'd probably have to get the sauce and the pickles and everything off of it because you just really don't like.
No, the sauce was good.
You don't care much.
It tasted like crap the last time.
Oh,
which I understand for you, it's a nostalgia thing.
It is kind of well, you know, and the other thing too is that
they probably changed up the recipe.
The recipe has changed over the years. But the other thing is too is we used to have a very similar item, like they used to serve that as meals at school. Mm-hmm. So you know how like the school pizzas,
the
and
square
stuff,
pizza, yeah,
right.
That's always like the go-to.
We had a version of that ultimately they turned into the McRib. But yeah, the barbecue sauce has changed over the years. So you know, well, and I think even the McRib sauce itself has changed over the years. But
I mean, it's not my thing. It's certainly not my.
It is a nostalgia
go-to
thing.
Sandwich.
Most people don't remember that McDonald's at one time did pizza and actually had a pretty good pizza.
McDonald's, if you're listening.
Here's the sad part. Up till a couple of years ago, there was one McDonald's left that still had the pizzas, and they finally told them they had to take it off the menu. They somehow managed to keep it on the menu. I don't know.
Was it in New York or Chicago?
No, actually, it was here in Ohio. It was
what?
like way like on the edge border of Ohio. I never got a chance to take you guys to go try it. It was one of those things.
I was just now thinking in my head, why didn't you take me?
Yeah, it was just one of those things. It literally,
I mean, we've tried McDonald's and down in Georgia. We tried McDonald's up the East Coast. And Maine,
but
Vermont.
The thing is, you typically go to McDonald's because you know it's going to be the
Vermont.
same.
No, we weren't that north. Not Maine.
Maryland,
either.
I think it was.
Maryland, Virginia, and they have different items as you go.
Yeah, different areas will have certain
different stuff. You know, Kentucky not so different, but
no, Kentucky's still considered our market.
But you know, you go Tennessee, Georgia, anywhere down there. Florida had different stuff than Georgia did, if I remember correctly.
Well, remember Georgia had a different chicken sandwich.
They also had like a smokehouse one that wasn't really being done up here.
Yeah, well, you're right. There was some type of smokehouse.
And that was
burger.
the first year we went down to Georgia.
But yeah, that's the thing. You go to, and I'm sure you go to McDonald's in China, it's going to be different than.
Oh, it's going to be way different because over there it's not really burgers and fries. That's
strangely enough, I heard that I think they have all the small meat, but they have no. I don't think they do the big meats, so they don't do the quarter pounders. They'll do like the Big Mac and the cheeseburger and any of the stuff with the small burger, but they don't do the large quarter pounder stuff.
Probably because of how many people in China.
I don't know. It's kind of one of those weird things, but every market's a little different. So,
let's see if I can do this right this
one
time.
of the things we like to do on this stream, for anybody who doesn't know, I'm Travis.
I'm Austin.
And we like to drink a little bit of soda while we're on stream. Today we're going old school Coca-Cola.
Want this one?
Sure.
Is that just correct?
These are mini ones.
Yes, these are very mini.
I certainly overpaid for these.
How much did you pay?
Don't ask.
That's how you know it's too much.
Yeah, don't ask. Don't ask so that I don't have to
actually kinda
say it in a
perfect.
way that your mother can understand.
That was actually kind of perfect.
Yeah, it was.
Wait, Atlanta, Georgia. Ballers.
Oh, they're made in Georgia?
Yeah, look at
Actually,
on the cap. Atlanta, Georgia.
Yeah, what's funny is it says Atlanta, Georgia, but these are Ohio State. Look on the look on the
Ohio
side.
State University, 150 years.
150-year anniversary, and it's made in Georgia.
Yeah, I remember the Coca-Cola Bottlers Association, Atlanta, Georgia.
Normally, if you buy the glass ones, the tall glass ones, they're Mexican Cokes, as
That's
everybody
why
calls
we
them.
call them Mexican Coke.
Because they're actually made in Mexico and imported into the States.
Dang, we just missed a great opportunity.
I know.
The clink.
The stupid stuff we do on streaming in this podcast. But anyway.
I mean, we missed the first opportunity. We had to do it the second time.
True, not false. So yeah, well, I guess we'll jump around on the topics. But yeah, the McDonald's McRib is totally a freaking nostalgia thing. Like I said,
I mean, I haven't known many people of my generation per se that have tried it and liked it.
It's cheap. It
makes McDonald's cheap.
Actually, what's funny is when I worked for McDonald's during the early days of the McRib.
Fry crip. Wow, fry cook.
Yes, I actually was a fry cook.
Not a crip.
Yes,
we are talking gangs.
Yes, I actually worked the fry cook stuff, so I'm totally that guy. I hated it. My problem was...
were you on the grill, fries? What?
I actually did both. I started out on the fries, and that's typically where they put the newbies anyway. And
what I'm hearing is don't work at McDonald's.
I really, at that time, I was a little bit older than you. No, I was about your age when I was working.
Because I'm 17.
Yeah, I was your age when I started working at McDonald's. Or maybe I was 16, somewhere ballpark. And they start you out on the fries, and then I got moved to the grill. Both those sections I really kind of hated, and not for just the way you would think. Oh, excuse me.
Do you hear that?
There is a buzz right now that's coming through the headphones.
Just make it. Okay, it stopped. Just making sure you heard that as well.
Yeah, it's on our end. It's not coming through.
I'm like, what's that?
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, I worked the fries, and then I worked the grill, and I hated both of those because the heat, and I'd get these bursts of heat, and it would just make me feel awful all day. So they ended up putting me on the.
Last time I burped on stream, it didn't turn out too well.
Yeah. The last part I got put on was I did work the grill partly, but I was mostly the assembler is what they kind of called it. So I was the person making the sandwiches, and
you were on the line.
I got really good at that. But they because Papa worked at that McDonald's. He was working at McDonald's at that time. He was the maintenance guy. So he was the guy that cleaned up at the end of the night. So he's the one that tore down all the machines and cleaned all the fries. The fryers and all that stuff. He was that guy. Plus, he cleaned the bathrooms, all that kind of stuff. So, but they loved it when I worked, because when I worked, I would stagely shut down, because it wasn't this was before 24-hour McDonald's was the thing. I would go through and I would properly clean everything. I would have everything clean. My area they never had to touch. I cleaned it. I shut it down. I usually had the dishes taken care of, the trays that they keep the meat and stuff in. I usually have all those cleaned up and at least some of them washed, if not all of them washed. So my stepdad come in, and I pulled 2 hours out of their job because I had it done. It gave them time to do other things. So, and Papa was really good at tearing down the Coke machine. He could how the biggest problem you have is when you go into a McDonald's or any other restaurant, and you try to get a Coke or something. It just never tastes right. That's because those machines are adjustable. Inside,
with the syrup.
Inside, you can turn adjuster knobs to adjust the syrup to the soda part of it. And Papa he used to go in and adjust that all the time. Those machines at that McDonald's were perfect. They were always properly adjusted. Once a week, those got adjusted. And nobody does that. Nobody does that anymore. It just and then you got these the new Coke machines that just
choose what you want.
Right. Those take like little. I've seen them open it up. They literally the bottom part has boxes that they just plug in, so they don't even do that anymore. So it's kind of interesting how that's all changed on a lot of that stuff.
I mean, times have changed. Businesses have changed.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like one of our favorite pizza joints closing.
I know, that's so horrible. Obviously, if you can't tell based on our size, we're food people. He loves pizza.
Big time pizza lover.
Yeah, he's a huge pizza lover in more ways than one. Woohoo! And I'm rubbing his belly for all those on, not on stream. But yeah, Fabian's apparently closed their doors this past week.
And all they said about it wasn't for any health reasons. They just closed up shop because times are changing. They want to make room for something newer, something better.
I think they were struggling, but the only reason I would think they were struggling was because of the fact there's no parking. Where they were at was the absolute worst place in the world. It was great if you
that and where was it? Dirty Frank's.
Dirty Frank's had better parking.
It did have better parking, but it wasn't great.
It's not great, but it had better park. At least you had an opportunity to park. But where Fabian's was, even if you were trying to dine in, you couldn't find a place to park. And with all the construction that's been going on the past 3 freaking years
downtown
in that area, where they've been tearing up the sidewalks and tearing up half the road,
and Fabian's was always our, if we're downtown for a big event, every once in a while, let's go there.
Fabian's was one of those weird, odd bars, and I have turned more people onto that place than you wouldn't believe. And the thing is that Fabian's was one of those places, if you didn't know it existed, you'd never go there. Like you just if you weren't there, you didn't know what it was. But Fabian's was one of those. It was a really great pizza joint that had like a small bar.
And
so
the bar was very small, but what really brought a lot of people there was the actual Chicago style deep dish pizza.
Like they did
the crust,
3/4 of an inch.
The crust was about that thick. Well, that thick, and then you had all the toppings, which just add up to about that. And you had this huge slice of pizza, and you could only eat one, maybe two.
2 is pretty much my limit.
And I've
seen you once eat 3 pieces.
Oh yeah, but that was because I was really starving that day. Yeah. I was hungry.
And I can normally throw down a decent number of slices of pizza, but not there. I mean, the crust was done so. I mean, it was a beautiful buttery crust. It was super and I say super thick, but not in the thick the way that a lot of people would consider thick. Like it had a nice edge on it where it would hold it.
You could hold it and it wouldn't flop over. It held itself under that weight.
Topping wise, it was a gorgeous Chicago style pizza. And I've been to Chicago. I've had one of the staple Chicago style pizza. I've been in one of those pizza places, and it was at I want to say it's the Gurney Mall is where I had it at. There was one in that big mall, and it so disappoints me. But the reason we never, there were times that we actually tried to go, and we couldn't even. I couldn't even find a spot where I could drop you guys off and drive around. I mean, you'd almost have to do that if you were taking it to go. But there were times where we tried to go and even sit down, and there just was no parking.
Oh, what, Fabian?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was an awesome place. It really was. They had an actually good marinara sauce that they made in-house. It was all good pizza. As good as pizza could get.
Yeah, it was definitely
probably one of the best ones I've ever had.
Yeah, it was definitely up there as far as pizza is concerned for me. It was definitely my favorite local pizza. I'll say that. So yeah, I'm I hope somebody might.
I'm hoping they open up a location somewhere better for them.
Man,
better suited.
Even if they did like Grove or Gahanna or something like that.
I mean that's still worth the drive.
Yeah, I would do Gahanna. Easton would be a good spot for them.
Easton would be an awesome location.
I think they'd do awesome.
And there's actually a few open areas for it because there's been a few places closing up around there.
Well, they're always adding new storefronts in that area. So
if they get a location for that, I mean, hey, that's a great area for business.
Right.
It's one of the biggest shopping areas in Columbus, so they can make some serious money if they truly decided to go there.
Yeah, I found out that Shade Tree Surgeon, the one that I talked about last week, that was at the AIM Expo, apparently him and some guys rode out and went to Der Dutchman.
Ooh, awesome choice.
Oh my God. If you're ever in the Plain City, Ohio area, which is basically kind of between Columbus and Dayton, Ohio.
It's kind of Amish country.
It's Amish country. There's this huge place. And
I think we actually did see a horse and buggy.
Oh, yeah. It's
out
not
there one time.
Yeah, it's not unusual to see a horse and buggy. And but yeah, if you're out in that area, there's an what they call they call it Amish. I don't know if necessarily Amish owned or not, but it's a restaurant with a bakery. So you go in, and this place is just, I mean, it's probably twice the size of a freaking Golden Corral at least.
At least twice, if not 2.5.
Yeah. So there's one section. It's the bakery. Like they have all kinds of food. Like they have pies and cakes, and they got eclairs that are just monster huge.
The Long Johns. They're probably this long, if not bigger.
Yeah, I mean they're where normally it's probably inch and a half wide by like 3 or 4 inches long.
That long.
These things are like 3 inches wide and probably 7 or 8 inches long.
Huge.
I mean they're just monster.
Probably one of the bigger ones probably the biggest one that you'll ever see.
I would say they're double a regular size one.
And you can tell they're made fresh.
Oh yeah,
there. Everything is made fresh. It's awesome.
They do. I mean, they got.
Now you make me drool for the chicken again.
Yeah, they got cookies and cakes, and I mean all the kind of stuff that fat people like us would actually drool over.
All the different types of because you have the apple fritters, cherry fritters, blueberry fritters.
Oh yeah, big chunks of fruit.
I'm drooling. Hold on. I'm fat, okay.
And then they have a restaurant, and it's a standard. I mean, they do have, you can order some stuff off a menu, but for the most part, everybody goes for the buffet. And
the chicken is to die for.
Yeah. Imagine KFC chicken on steroids. I mean,
that's how good it is.
Yeah, it's that good.
Excuse me.
I mean, it's old school, deep hand battered, deep fried, double, extra crispy goodness. What's y'all favorite spiders? A dead one.
I don't know. I kind of like a black widow. He hates spiders. I'm spider.
I don't necessarily hate spiders, but
you see a tiny spider, like, really?
Y'all. Well, you're not so bad, but the rest of the people in this freaking family are always like, "Oh my god, it's a spider!"
I'm like, it's a spider. Either pick it up with a paper towel and put it outside, or stomp it.
Yeah.
I don't want to touch it.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Here's your shoe. Hit it. No.
And we're not necessarily talking about the women in the household either.
No, we're not.
But we're not naming names.
Say this, we're sorry.
I wasn't naming names because he's coming after my ass for it.
I live across the hall.
He might shoot you, figuratively and literally with the
Nerf gun.
Nerf gun, yeah.
No, he'll bounce it off his door, off my door, and onto my forehead again during a stream.
Did you ever clip that? You should have.
No, I didn't.
Oh, you should have.
And it was like a year ago.
But yeah. We were talking Der Dutchman, weren't we?
Der Dutchman chicken.
So yeah, mashed potatoes, gravy. I mean, full salad bar. I mean, this place is it's absolutely to die for. It's not cheap. Six.
Three of us was.
Well, the three of us plus what we brought home was over $100.
But it's really good food.
That was 6 of us, so yeah.
It's worth it.
It's worth it. It's fun, and that didn't include the fact that we bought stuff in the bakery too.
We got what, a dozen donuts?
Yeah, we bought a dozen donuts. It's not unusual for us to we didn't have a pie on that one, but the pies are absolutely to die for. Like they have the key lime and the banana.
Yeah, Black Widows could be better, despite having a reputation of a lethal bite.
Why is it you always have to talk when you read?
I'm sorry. You have it all the way over there, and I'm trying to read it from here.
Yeah. You're not blind. All right. We'll move on from the food thing.
Really?
Oh, really? You're going to have to use the mousy scroll over, yeah. It's not letting you do it. Oh, there it goes. Left, right, left. See, it's a little too big.
There.
But yeah, I agree. The Black Widow does get kind of a bad reputation, and I think they have meds for people who have gotten bit from that. So I think it's not as bad as it used to be. On the Spider Talk, by the way.
So what about your new purchase?
Yes. So I went dark side. I went from Android to iOS. We
converted them, people.
Yeah, I got the red one, and I got the base model with 128 gigs of memory, because 64 is not enough. I don't know if I'd even do 64 for one of you two.
Oh yeah, God no.
Because you'd run out.
I think. Hold on, let me look how much storage I've actually used on this. And I think I delete a lot of my photos because I back them up on Google Photos. General iPhone storage, 29.3 gigs is all I've used.
Out of what, 64?
64.
Yeah, I do so much pictures and videos and stuff like that it was just makes better sense.
An eighth of that is apps.
Yeah. But anyway, all right. So first regular topic. It was not part of the intro, but I want to at least talk about this.
Spider-Man.
I will talk about Spider-Man in a minute. So Adam Sandoval, who's a huge, who's gotten pretty big in the Harley Davidson community, but he's a motorcycle vlogger here on YouTube. He's been trying for the past 4 years to break the Guinness's World Records of the longest.
Excuse me.
For the most continuous Harley Davidson motorcycles on a parade. And Greece had previously held the title. It was 2,404 motorcycles for 2.8 miles. And the new record was 3,497 motorcycles, and it was 3.5 miles. I wanted so badly to go to this event, but
Where was it?
Oklahoma, I think it was. Somewhere between northern Texas, lower Oklahoma area.
Yeah, Mom would not let you do that.
Dude, I was thinking about it. I was thinking about making the trip on the bike, literally.
Mom would not have let you done it.
She probably wouldn't have cared, but I would have had to take vacation and all that stuff, and right now is a bad time.
Oh yeah, right now is a horrible time.
But yeah, I would have loved to have been there and actually been a part of.
Yeah, you would have had to take like a whole week off just for that.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where I'd almost have to go, hey Nash, take a couple of days off school.
He would
trail on the bike out there.
He would. You know he would.
Oh, I know he would.
Thing is, is he allowed to ride the bike out of state with his endorsement?
He has his full endorsement, so he's not on a permit. So yeah, he can take it out of state. Unfortunately, he wouldn't have been able to ride because he doesn't have a Harley Davidson. But
it had to be Harleys?
It had to be Harley. That was their restriction. They tried it last year, and pretty much the whole thing got screwed up because there were non-Harleys. Actually, surprisingly enough, they said they had a problem with people who either didn't have their endorsement or that were there, because that was part of the thing. You had to have your endorsement. The VIN number on the bike had to be a Harley. Had to show it was a Harley Davidson.
As he dies. You good?
Take over for a minute.
Oh, I don't even know what to talk about. Talk about what I've been playing.
Talk about what you're playing. Give me a minute.
How?
Because I'm about to get loud.
I have to get up.
Excuse us for just a moment. Technical difficulties.
My headphones just fall. these break? No. Okay, good. If these broke, I would be out of business on this. But yeah, so while he's out dying, I've basically been playing. I've been playing Siege. I've been going and playing some Apex Season 3 because it just came out last Tuesday. Getting some good wins on that. Been wanting to go back and play more Gears 5. Also wanting to go and what was it? Play some more Arkham Knight. I've been wanting to go back and do that some more. So we'll just see what's been going on. Now, the whole Spider-Man stuff. Spider-Man is back in the MCU. Sony and Disney have found an agreement. They agreed to something. And it was Peter Parker, the person who plays Peter Parker, Tom Holland, who got them both to agree. Got them to talk again. Peter Parker had went to the CEO of Marvel and the CEO of Sony Interactive Pictures and talked to them both, got them to agree, and now Sony and Disney are back working together for another Spider-Man film. God, what is taking so long? But anyway, if you guys are listening and you want to see some gaming content from us who produced this, go to My Life is Austin on YouTube. It will be the one with the MLA picture. Watch some videos on there if you missed any past podcasts and if you're watching it on YouTube, you already found us. But if you want to see any gaming content and you're from Twitch or you're from one of the podcast places, hop over to YouTube, search up My Life is Austin. You can find past live streams there for Apex. I think I have Minecraft up there. I know I have Gears on there. Switch. Now that's a different view than what I have. But let me go full screen with this. He changed that up. But if you're on Twitch right now, this is essentially it. It's called My Life is Austin. The videos here, you can see. Here, let me bring this forward. You can see on here, got Modern Warfare stuff from the Alpha, Gears of War 5, got a bunch of different content. Definitely some past streams that you want to go check out. And oh, look who's back from the dead, back to the land of living. I don't even want to know.
No.
Did you puke? Close. Okay. Anyway, I'll move back. Don't fall this time. Just talking about the channel. We are professionals on this channel.
No, we're not.
Try to be.
Sorry, when I coughed, it went down the wrong way. So that didn't go over well. All right.
Yeah, you left me to do the show by myself.
Yeah, sorry about
Like you
that.
wanted it.
Like I said, I knew that was about to get loud.
That. There.
Oh, that's better. Whew.
It's not entertaining to see me do the show by myself.
It's
kind of sad.
And then doing a Chinese fire drill on top of that. Yeah, sorry about that. And now
I could do something but this channel will get flagged so many times.
Probably. All right. So, I'll move on to the next topic.
If you're not dying.
Sorry.
You want to take this one over?
Yeah, I guess I can take it.
I can do the crossplay.
All right.
Because I've been wanting to talk about that for a while.
So, Sean Layden leaving PlayStation. Boy, do I sound awful now.
You sound horrible. Right into my ears.
Sorry about that.
RIP headphone users.
Yeah. So he's been with Sony since 1987. He was lastly the CEO of Sony Interactive Entertainment Worldwide Studios, which is their games studio division. This announcement was really strange on a lot of fronts. One, it was announced via by PlayStation Twitter.
They didn't do press conference?
No, they didn't. There was no press conference. There was no, there was no like Reggie type of video or anything like that. And it read this way. It said, "It is with great emotion that we announce that Worldwide Studios Chairman Sean Layden, will be departing Sony Entertainment Worldwide Studios. His visionary leadership will be greatly missed. We wish him success in his future endeavors and are deeply grateful for his years of service. Thanks for everything, Sean." It was not the kind of like I said, there was no official announcement. Normally they would put an official announcement on, through their website or whatever. You know that already.
Yes. That's why I'm just playing with the bottle.
Quit playing with the bottle.
Why? I'm not breaking over my head yet.
Not yet.
Ow. That was headphones, not head.
I'm going to say that's glass, so that's not light. So rumors are abound, of course, of what's going on, whether he was fired, whether he announced that maybe he announced he was leaving. They said, pretty much said, okay, well, then today's your last day. That kind of thing, it kind of typically happens in one of two forms. It is a little unusual. Like, if somebody puts in their 2 weeks notice and says, and it's not a situation where they go, I'm retiring, like Reggie did. That was the thing with Reggie. Reggie announced he was retiring. Not that he was quitting or moving to somewhere else. And so most people are thinking at this point, there's a good chance that Sean may go to Google Stadia. There's a lot of rumors boiling that he might be going there.
Go to Xbox.
I don't know if there's any good place for him in Xbox. That's the thing. But Google Stadia would be a place where he, in a market that he was already kind of familiar with. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But even though it's kind of a new market, it would still be very similar. And the other reason why a lot of speculation's been jumping around, besides the fact the way this was announced, Sean, apparently, who is normally very active on Twitter, has been deathly silent. He has been liking some responses from fellow Twitter followers, but he has not been posting anything about it or anything. I mean, he has literally gone silent. In a situation, like I said, if they had announced a retirement situation, normally that retirement would come with a such and such will be either taking over in the interim, or we already have announced somebody to take that position. There was no announcement to that effect.
So what it sounds like is he walked in and said, I'm leaving, I'm going here, but goodbye.
He may not even said, I'm going here. He may have just said, here's my resignation, I'm leaving. And at that point, they may have said, then today is your last day. And like I said, that is not unusual, partly because somebody of that caliber would be very riskful for taking trade secrets sort of with him, if you will, things of that nature, and they normally try to avoid that just out of precaution. So it's usually not, like I said, if it's not normally a situation where Um, but had he actually been fired, now don't get me wrong, it may have been a situation where it might have been like either you, give us your resignation, because apparently there was some talk where Sean and a few other executives inside Sony were butting heads with each other concerning Sony's direction. So that may have something to do with it. But it'd be interesting to see what happens. It would not surprise me if we get an announcement from him very shortly stating that he has a new job. He probably has to wait out his technical time off, because one of those things, even though they said, well, okay, well, today is unofficially your last day, which means we're going to pay out all your severances and whatnot and let you go. You just don't come back. I think that's probably the situation that happened, and I have a feeling he's going to come back somewhere very soon. But anyway, I'll let you talk about the next subject.
Crossplay. Something everyone's been wanting for a long time between Xbox, PC, Nintendo Switch, and, well, PlayStation.
Especially with a lot of the multiplayer games. I mean,
we've seen it happen with Fortnite. We've seen it. Cross-save has been a thing. They did open up to that like a year or two ago about cross-saving between PC, Xbox, and PlayStation. Heck, you can do that with Destiny 2. I found that out when I was trying to link my Steam account. And that did not go too well. I still have not had it got finished. But anyway, crossplay has been something everyone's been wanting. And, well, Sony has finally opened up. Oh, Joe. Sony doesn't play well with others. They never have.
And it's interesting. Joe's always lurking in somebody's channel.
Always.
His name is perfect because he really does lurk.
Or Net Nobody is what he calls himself as well.
Here's the thing about the funny thing is they made this big announcement that Sony PlayStation is going to open up crossplay to anybody and everybody. But I recall not long ago there was a bit of a controversy about that.
It was like a year ago.
Yeah, when
it was right before they allowed Fortnite crossplay.
It was right after they announced, and then other companies were going, "Well, hey, why can't we get crossplay?" Or
you're not paying us enough.
And Sony, and these companies were saying Sony was telling them no, and saying, we're not going to do it. And these companies are like, why? You said it's available. Well, now it's officially available to everyone.
Yeah, because it wasn't just like a Switch that they already had it. All they had to go was like, okay, yeah, we'll allow you flip the Switch.
I'm sure there's a little bit more involved in.
But that's basically what it was.
It was essentially all they needed was access to something from Sony, and obviously Sony figured out how to do it because they did allow Fortnite to do it. But I think there was a money incentive that allowed them to do it.
Oh yeah, big time. I mean, now if they're letting all games and all companies do this, that's going to open up a wide range. Now, granted, Sony still, of course, has their exclusives that only them will get.
I think the biggest thing is it's going to help. It's going to help.
Oh, it's going to help business on all.
Well, it's going to help games that are online only, like a Fortnite or something like that, as they sort of, I won't say wind down necessarily, but it'll allow these. Yeah, there you go.
Yes, please. I have friends on Xbox who were devastated when they heard I went PlayStation with it.
The thing is that it gives an opportunity for those games to extend their life. So as the player base maybe shrinks quite a bit, there's still enough players between all the consoles and the PCs and all that to still make
the game alive.
Right, to still keep the game alive and make it a viable product.
Now, see, I don't think if they do what Fortnite did, I don't think anything's going to go over well with all PCs and consoles in lobbies together all the way. Now, if you're playing with friends from different things, that's different. But if you're playing with people from everything all at once, Fortnite had mobile, PC, Switch, Xbox, PlayStation, all in the same lobbies.
Well, I'm sure that's exactly what will happen. But and you always have those people that are going to debate. Well, somebody can do something faster than I can because they're on PC or they're on console or whatever.
I'm on PC, and the main thing I use is a controller.
There's a lot of games where that didn't used to be the fact. I used to mostly be the keyboard mouse kind of guy, but because a lot of games are now built on the possibility that they're going to be a console release, they make it easier to play with a controller.
I mean, heck, I think the only game I really play with keyboard and mouse is Dead by Daylight.
Yeah,
that's like the only game I can play on keyboard and mouse and not be spamming keys across the.
When I do play keyboard. Arma, I play that with keyboard and mouse.
Yeah, keyboard and mouse. That was me with Arma. I had to delete it. We hadn't played it in so long.
But like Borderlands, I play with a controller.
Yep,
even though I played on PC.
I play Siege with a controller.
Yeah,
I get called toxic for it, but I don't care.
Yeah.
I play GTA with a controller.
Yeah,
but
GTA.
It's because it's GTA.
It's made for a console, so you plug in an Xbox controller, and it's just better graphics and better frame rate. I mean, that's essentially what it comes down to. It's just better.
This makes me think I need to check and see if I got my million.
Yeah, I didn't log in. So
I did. I went to the casino and gambled for a little bit.
That sounds horrible. When you
I made $50,000.
When you take
I took in 20, made 50. I came out with 70.
You know what though? That sounds horrible when you take it out of context. He's talking about a video game, not in real life.
GTA 5 has a casino.
Because God, if he could do that in real life.
A 17-year-old teenager walks in the casino, brings $20,000 with him. How'd you get this money? Don't worry about it.
Don't ask.
Wins $50,000, walks out. They just got hustled.
Yeah.
Don't take that plan from me.
Yeah, don't do that. You'll go to jail and become a burrito.
No, I bet you I'm going to have someone go, what were you talking about?
I'm sure you will.
Because there's people from my school that watch this, and now they're just going to look at me. Huh? Are you an evil mastermind as well as an insane person?
Well, it goes with your conversation about the substitute teacher you had today.
Which one? The one
about to take over the world?
No, that was Thursday that I had that sub.
Yeah.
The one I had today thought that the friend I made laugh, hit the floor laughing, they thought that friend was having a stroke. I'm not joking you. They almost called the office and 911. I'm like, no. They are not having a stroke. Don't worry. I know they are. They're just laughing really hard.
You're not that funny.
Hey, if it's a cow, look. The first
vaginal discharge is all I got to say.
Look, we got a paper today. We had a sub. And the first question on it was about counting calories. And so I'm like, counting calories? I'm not good at that. My friend Isabel right next to me laughs and is laughing so hard she had to hold her stomach and she fell over onto the ground. Because it was so unexpected. Yeah, I'm the only big kid in the room other than another guy, and he doesn't take opportunities for jokes like I do. I see a joke, I go for it.
Yeah. All right, moving on to the next conversation. So net neutrality the net neutrality repeal gets upheld by judges, but apparently it's going to be good for net neutrality, which is highly funny.
Oh my God, I see FCC.
So here's the quote: the FCC has won a key bid to uphold its repeal of net neutrality, but at a significant cost. A federal appeals court handling the complaint has ruled that most of the repeal can stand, but the FCC had not shown legal authority to ban states from implementing their own laws. The regulators was trying to categorically abolish states' established power to regulate communications or commerce within their borders, according to the court. So what that means, in layman's terms, is they said, yes, the FCC can pretty much do what they want. There's not much that the court could legally attribute. However, from a legal standpoint, because of the laws that are in place concerning communications and concerning commerce, the FCC could not force states to not make their own net neutrality rules. So that opens up pretty much the doors for any and every other state to have 50 different sets of rules for net neutrality. Gotta love it.
Gotta love democracy.
Apparently, I can never pronounce this dude's name. Pi. That's all I'll say.
Where? I meant the name, not the food. I'm not that fat. Wait. Okay, I am that fat.
You're a dick. That's all I can say. You're a dick.
Where's the guy's name? I'm looking for it.
It's not on the docket.
Why?
It is in the article, but Aljet Pie or some BS like that. I hate the guy. I really do. And
was he like presidential cabinet or something?
No. He's the guy that's in charge of the FCC. But he's
I forget what's the FCC.
But he's a former lawyer for like Verizon or something like that. I mean, he is.
Oh, so he's
he's so embedded in that BS. It's not even funny.
He's a scammer. That's what he is.
Oh, actually, there sort of is his name. Agent Pie or whatever.
Veggies.
But anyway,
sounds Indian.
I think he is from, or his family is from India.
I mean, not to be racist.
No, it is. He really does. He is really.
The name just looks like it's from there. I mean,
it is. But anyway,
I'm still going to get comments that.
I'm sure. But the thing is, it's one of those things. Apparently, he was real kind of pissed off about it because the fact that now that 50 states can turn around and go, our net neutrality rules and our net and now all these companies are going to have to somehow work with 50 different sets of rules instead of one set of rules like the net neutrality rules were meant to be, and that's why they were in place. It was partly in place to prevent the fact that 50 different sets of rules would come into play if they didn't do it.
Sounds like we had a constitution for the internet. Now we have an article of confederation for the internet.
God, that's kind of a yeah.
It's a good analogy.
That's not a half bad analogy in that respect.
A geeky pie.
Pie. that goes back to our Der Dutchman comment because they make awesome pie.
I don't think I've had a pie from there.
Yes, we have.
I haven't, because you guys always got apple or cherry pie.
Because right before Thanksgiving, was it last year or year before, we bought a banana pie.
Did you get a pecan pie?
I don't think we got a pecan pie.
Pecan pies are the best.
But we got a banana cream pie. We got a key lime pie, and it was something else.
Okay, it may have been the key lime that I had because I love key lime. Key lime pie is like one of my big ones. You get me a key lime pie, I will love you for life.
I have to be in the mood for it. Like I could eat banana pie any day of the week. Key lime, I got to be in a mood. Lemon meringue, I have to be in a mood. But I still love those things.
Like I said, you get me a key lime pie, I will love you for life.
Careful what you ask for. You might get shipments.
I don't care.
From Amazon.
I want to be just like Fluffy. People bring me cakes, chocolate cakes,
in baskets of racist baskets.
I swear, if someone starts bringing me Starbucks every day, I'm going to smack someone.
Well, you like not that you
I like Starbucks.
You just don't do anything with Starbucks coffee.
I will do certain things with coffee.
Barely. They have to be heavily something else for you to do.
I will mainly do vanilla bean frappuccinos.
Yeah, vanilla bean frappuccino.
For anyone out there.
He's definitely a vanilla bean frappuccino.
I'm that basic white girl.
I like vanilla bean frappuccinos, but I like mine double blended. And your mom likes a caramel macchiato upside down. Yeah.
Upside down, 3 shots of espresso, black.
With a pinch of something. I don't know. My wife, his mother, used to be a barista at a Starbucks, so we can make the joke because she understands how to order all that crap.
I want large. I'm sorry, a what?
I want a liter of cola. That's what I want.
I want a Venti. What's that? What's a Venti?
I love the fact
What's
that
Grande? Big. How big is Grande?
really big. No, for anybody who doesn't know the reference about a liter of cola, it's a reference. It's a Super Troopers reference, and I love the fact that they revisited
Shenanigans?
That's a pistol whip.
Starbucks.
The root of all
evil today.
Hey, you know what? If Starbucks
If it gets me up in the morning,
if
I'm
Starbucks
fine.
is the root of all evil, go for it. Because I can think of 10 times worse companies to work or deal with. So, yeah. And I'm not a coffee person, so I love the smell. I can't stand the taste.
I heard Amazon's worse.
That's
work for.
You know what? Everybody has different views, but I can't say anything about Amazon because obviously I never worked for Amazon.
I know a lot of people who work.
I've heard, I've worked for Walmart, and they're not the greatest company to work in the world. I've worked for some private companies that ain't necessarily been the best to work for. I've worked for Target, and they're okay, but they have some stupid rules.
They were all right. As far as
they have stupid rules when it comes to hire for their management staff.
Mom was a manager, wasn't she?
She was, but she had reached, and this is one of the reasons why she quit, because she had reached the point of the top point and the top pay that she could ever reach. She couldn't get any more raises.
Tim works for coffee.
Honey curlers, that's all I got to say. And
Dan, where's my Dunkin' Donuts?
Yeah. Oh, Joe, I'll tell you, if you want to talk donuts though, Amy's Donuts that's here in Columbus, Ohio, near Columbus. I think it's Columbus where they're at. Look them up. Amy's Donuts in Columbus, Ohio. Oh my God, they have the most.
That'd be a trip for him.
That is the. Oh, it's a fact.
There's a lot of fat heavens here in Ohio. Wait, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, just making sure. Because I can't hear myself.
Well, you can turn yourself up.
Nah, I'm good. I don't like hearing my own voice. Even though I do YouTube and stream, I don't like hearing my own voice.
Yeah, Amy's Donuts here in Columbus, they do such a variety of donuts, and they actually have a set of donuts that are themed. So they have a full set of donuts that are
Homer Simpson.
For Simpsons. Like they put damn near anything and everything you can think of in and around a donut. I mean,
I want maple syrup, bacon, and fudge all on a donut.
Mm-hmm.
I had that before. I have the photo of it on my Instagram. I want it again.
Yeah, we're gonna have to make a trip.
I'm crying.
I am a little bit. I was actually thinking about rubbing my eye because my eye was watering just a bit.
Let me find it.
You know what? Now we're gonna have to do it. I know we're on stream, and I apologize for anybody that's on the podcast. We're really running off the rails today.
Oh, totally. Anywhere and everywhere. Where is it? Maple bacon fudge. That's exactly what it was. And oh my God, it's ooey gooey, and that looks. Oh, well, focus in.
Ooh, apparently they are in Spokane Valley, Washington, Colorado Springs.
Filling that whole giggity.
Albuquerque, New Mexico, and Tucson, Arizona. So apparently there are.
Spokane Valley, Colorado Springs. Wow, Colorado Springs is kind of in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, let's see here. All right, let me bring this. This is a big, full screen. Transition. So this is just an example of some of the donuts.
Marge Simpson. We got the almond banana. Amy Mounds.
Yeah, that's got coconut and chocolate on top. There's an apple pie
got
glaze.
Banana Foster.
This is just a small example.
What in the? Oh my God, my mind just went into the gutter. Fluffer Nutter.
Your mind went total gutter there, didn't it?
Yes. Did I tell you about the bag of chips I saw that were called Nutter Puffs?
Just not go there. So the nut, I can tell you for because your mom has bought this.
Nutter?
Your mom has bought this one.
Oh my God.
It is marshmallow fluff with is it? It's either peanut butter or
Oh, chocolate turtle.
yeah. What is that? Nutella. That's what it is. Nutella.
Andy's mint.
Chips Ahoy, Kit Kat.
I hear my stomach growling.
Oreos, peanut butter. There's an Elvis one here somewhere. That's another big.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, chocolate strawberry, turtle, chunky
Dirty
monkey,
worm.
cinnamon toast crunch,
Crunch berries.
Yeah, cookies and cream fluff. That's an awesome one.
They actually do a cotton candy.
They do a crunch berries. Dirty worms, pretty good. Oh, there's the Elvis. The Elvis is really good. It's banana, chocolate, and I can't remember.
There's the one I just saw. Maple bacon fudge right there.
Yep, maple bacon fudge, maple bacon.
Maple bacon fudge. It's so
Lucky
good.
Charms, mini.
But oh my god, it's so rich.
Fluffer butter.
Nutella peanut butter.
Yep, they do Nutella.
Nutter butter.
Nutter butter. That would be a good one.
Homer Simpson sprinkles.
Peanut butter sticky apple. That one probably. Oh, PB&J. They do peanut butter and jelly. Peanut butter and Oreo.
Reese's cup. Pistachio. Rocky Road. Ooh. Reese's Puffs.
Reese's Pieces.
S'mores. We got Snickers almonds.
Strawberry cheesecake.
Sticky apples on vanilla. Twix. Strawberry pearls. Chocolate almond. White chocolate.
The Butterfinger glaze is really good.
Oh my god, I love Butterfingers.
Heath bars. That should
Chief
be a good
Wiggin.
one. And then they do make some traditional
Red, white,
cherry
blue.
fritter, blueberry, apple fritters. Their glazed donuts are actually pretty
They do
good.
cakes. They just look like large donuts.
The thing is, you go into this place, and this place is like wall to wall donuts.
Sounds like fat heaven.
Yeah, maple donut, chocolate donut, lemon fudge, cherry lemon,
I don't
cherry
think lemon fudge would be that good.
Huh?
Orange creamsicle.
Yep, orange creamsicle. I've had a bite of one of those. It's good.
What, the Bronco berry?
I don't know.
Air Force blueberry, banana fudge, blueberry Rockies. And then we get into the more traditional glazed chocolate.
The eclair. Anybody doesn't know what an eclair is? These first three here on the top. That
you might hear them get called Long Johns.
Yeah, they go by a couple different names, but yeah, the glazed bars. That's another pretty common name. But yeah.
We have Joe talking to us, and I can't tell a single thing that he's saying.
Yeah, we'll jump back and look at Joe.
Candy corn.
Oh, yeah, Samoa. They do a couple of Girl Scout style ones.
But they do seasonal, so right now they have the spider donut, which looks like they have Tim Hortons.
You know what? Now we're gonna have to do that for the stream.
Yes.
We'll do that for the Halloween stream. Okay.
Definitely. Wait, does Halloween fall on Monday? Hold on.
If not, we'll do it right before. Yeah, we'll do it right before. Be the 28th. So yeah, for the episode 28th,
I'm sorry, I might want a candy corn one.
We'll do some
seasonal.
Yeah, we'll do
donuts.
We'll stop and get some seasonal donuts. So.
Okay, what is he saying? None in the Great White North. I just saw the Elvis one. Fried peanut butter and banana for Elvis. Spider donut on the bottom. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so
we might have to do some of the seasonal ones for stream. I'm a big fan of candy corn, so I might want the candy corn one.
Yeah, we'll do a couple of those for the stream. I'll make the trip.
We might just have to talk about our favorite Halloween candy for that.
And we'll go through some. We'll go through some different. Since we're already on this topic, we'll kind of play the rest of this.
We can cut some of this next week.
So yeah, for anybody that's new to the whole trick or treat thing, here's some basic rules of trick or treat. One, if you're not passing out candy, or you're not leaving candy for people to pick up, because we used to do that. We used to leave.
Turn off your light.
Yeah, turn off your lights. Okay, I don't care the porch light or the front lights. Turn those off. We used to, because obviously we had at the time we had young kids and nobody was at home. We would just leave a thing of candy, or would give one of the neighbors an extra tub of candy to pass out. Because the thing is, it's an important tradition. Regardless of the people have religious problems with Halloween, it's just a fun thing for kids to do. They get to dress up as their favorite
action heroes,
heroes, or fairies, or whatever.
Princesses, princes.
Yeah, it's just a fun, get dressed up, act goofy, and go get some damn candy. Okay.
Candy. I'm sorry, I had to do it.
Here's my second thing about Halloween. Okay. Do not give out what I would call hand wrapped candy at all.
Yeah, no.
For the people that give out those stupid caramel peanut butter thing, the ones with they're usually in like black and orange paper. They're you buy them pre you know exactly, it's the ones I hate.
I'm trying to think.
You know exactly the one I'm talking about.
If you describe it a little bit more.
They're like almost like a semi-hard candy. They're usually like a butterscotch or a but they have twisted in.
Mm-hmm. Oh, like the Werther's.
They're not Werther's, but oh my god, I cannot remember.
Halloween is the original cosplay.
You damn right.
Yes,
you damn right.
I agree, 100%.
But yeah,
that's where we get them.
Give properly sealed candy, okay? Now, as a kid, and take into consideration this was a long time ago, my grandmother, and there was rules about who she would give this to. My grandmother would make popcorn balls for Halloween.
Ooh.
Homemade. Now, she would only give it to the kids whose parents she knew. That was a rule. She had to know the parents or had permission from the parents to give them. So, and my grandmother, you met her once or twice, maybe.
I think it was probably once at a family reunion.
Yeah, unfortunately, she was not in the best of health by the time you were old enough to remember her. But she worked at the school. She was a cook. Her husband for many years was a bus driver and a janitor at the school, so everybody knew them. So that was one of those things that if they didn't know, then they didn't give it out. They gave out regular candy. But her popcorn balls were to die for. Now, you can buy popcorn balls these days, and they're not half bad for what they are.
No, they're not.
And you can give those out. But don't make candy and stuff for yourself, or to pass out. It's fine for those people like if your immediate neighbors' kids or whatever, and they're okay with it. If they know you well enough, that's fine. But as general, pre-wrapped candy's fine. Get good candy. Don't get the cheap stuff. I mean,
don't be the one to pass out dental hygiene stuff on Halloween. I mean, we had that one neighbor who did that for so many years, and they finally moved, and oh my god, I was so happy.
Yeah, it was
because I got so tired of getting floss and
the dental hygiene stuff was a little bit odd, but they did well. And then we had the one that would give out nickels.
Is the woman's husband was a dentist.
Was it really?
Yes.
Okay.
That's why. It's the house that always had like the sailor costume and whatnot. The guy was always in the tall sailor costume. I
vaguely remember.
It was over here by the school.
Yeah, it's on the other side. It was on the other side of the school.
Yeah. The guy was a dentist. That's why he gave that out to promote business. And oh my
That's
God.
right. Some of it did actually. That 1 or 2 years, it did. The little things of floss had his business name on it.
Uh-huh.
I do remember that.
It was to promote business. Now stuff like that I get. But are you serious? If you're just that random old person in the neighborhood, do not give out dental hygiene. It is Halloween. We want to ruin our teeth and stomachs, okay? I am Austin Adams, and I approve this message.
Yeah, and so obviously give out good candy. I mean, there's plenty. Even there is sugar-free candy that you can give, and we did that for a couple of years because
we did that 1 or 2 years.
We had a couple of kids that used to be in the neighborhood that had problems with sugar. So we would get some sugar-free candy, and their parents always made sure to stop by. And
one of the first houses right before we left.
Yeah, and they'd always, we'd always get. It was always good for them because it was something they could actually eat
and not have horrible problems.
Right. But yeah, I mean that's the thing. Be considerate of the kids, and even the kids that are teenagers running around giving candy. Maybe not give them quite as much. I mean, he.
I do with my little brother.
He's got a younger half brother that he goes out.
2 now.
Well, yeah, 2.
There's a mall in him. Sorry.
Right next to Dairy Queen. Look at that. We have
Talk
a
about good business.
we have
area.
we have a chicken place, a fried chicken, and a
right next to a barber shop.
a barber shop, and a
Dairy Queen.
insurance place right next to our Dairy Queen. So yeah,
It gets interesting with what pops up there.
So yeah, I mean, be considerate, obviously.
Wait, is that still a chicken place? Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's still chicken
It's
place.
still Eddie's.
You know, as a parent, definitely check the candy. Don't be afraid to not.
After the kids count the candy. It's always a tradition. Spill out your bags. Count how many pieces you got.
And go through it. And you know, don't be afraid if something if it doesn't look right, throw it away. That just a generic warning. If it doesn't look right, throw it away. It's not worth taking the risk. There are nasty, ugly people that do really messed up things to people. No, thank goodness we live in a reasonable, decent neighborhood. We've not had that problem. But we've had a couple times where candy, like the wrappers, seemed like it slipped a little bit or come unraveled, and kids know to throw those away. They know it's not worth it. They understand that,
10 pieces that night, 10 pieces next morning, 10 pieces the next night.
There's going to be plenty of candy to go around.
Take it all to school.
And I'll be honest, we spend like $60 or $70 a year, I think, in candy.
Oh, easy.
I mean, we get like.
But we're one of the houses that get hit.
We
big.
do, yeah, we do, and most of the kids in the neighborhood, like especially right now. I mean, we got the one neighbor's got 2 kids, and the other neighbor's got 2 kids.
We got a group right up the street, 7 kids,
yeah.
one house, 6 kids, one house right now.
But yeah, I mean, so we have some families that know us pretty well, and like I said, don't be afraid to pass out candy for Halloween. And like I said, if you're in a situation like us, don't be afraid to. We usually, like I said, for many years, we put the thing out, put a big sign up, and says, grab a handful, be considerate of others. I'm sure there's plenty of teenagers that was just wiping it up,
And I mean, once at the end of the night, we always got back and we passed it out, and what little bit was left, and no more people were coming around. We took for us, or if there was that one last person, we would give most of it to them. Let it be their lucky jackpot.
Yeah, and let kids be kids, but don't. I mean, it's one of those things. It's like this is a time for parents to walk with your kids. There's, you're always gonna.
If it's freezing, definitely make sure.
Yeah, make sure they're bundled up.
We had to have a few really cold Halloweens,
yeah.
rainy Halloweens, snowy Halloweens.
We've had a few.
I mean,
but yeah, have fun with it, and parents be involved with your kids. Don't let your kids go walk the neighborhood by themselves. Take a flashlight, go take a walk,
or let them. Or
kids should at the true age, or roughly true age, and then you walk with obviously your younger brother, and we've done it before. We've had a couple of.
Or I'll go out with a group of my friends and.
Well, and we've had a situation where like one of the neighbors couldn't take their kid out because they were working. So we was like, we'll take him with us. And we took him with us, and he had a good old time, and he got lots of candy, and he was happy. And
because we knew what spots to hit.
Well, that
now
too.
I don't think they went through the haunted house that we go to every year.
Well, remember was it last?
They stopped doing. They didn't do it last year and the year before. I'm really hoping they do it this year.
Yeah, there was.
I'm really hoping. If not, I know a place.
Yeah, we used to have one guy that he had a really cool, like he had his yard kind of dipped down into the garage, and you'd go through the garage and then go through his garage went to his backyard, so he would prep the garage in a certain way that would point you in through the garage and through the backyard, and made this big like haunted.
I think one year was like Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah, he'd do a theme and stuff. He used to really put some money into it.
The kids are always running out. It's kind of one of those things you want to record, but at the same time, there's always that one guy at the end that will make
with a chainsaw or something.
No, the past few years it's been a guy, and like you just thought he was a scarecrow with the pumpkin for the head and whatnot, and he jumps out. You either fall and you try to get up running and you keep falling, or you run faster.
And I'll be honest. That's one thing I've always been disappointed. I've never had the time of the month. We seem to always have something going on in October that happens.
I would love to go to an actual haunted house.
Oh my god, it's so expensive. But I've always wanted to like like go crazy on the yard and do props and all that stuff. And we've got a few neighbors that do that every year.
Oh, yeah. Like, we already got one set up right now.
I feel bad for the neighbor a street over from us because that one year somebody vandalized or stole.
No, they stole all the mannequins that they used for props.
Yeah, I felt really, really bad.
We had a neighbor that had, 10, 15 mannequins?
Oh, easy. I mean, his whole yard was filled with
we had a few
headstones
hanging from the tree.
Yeah.
Had a few just lying in the yard. A few body parts here and there of them.
Yeah, I mean, he had quite a...
And, oh my God. You had one thing that always looked like a statue, but it was an actual person. It always scared the crap out of you.
Yeah.
But you had a nice time. They give you a decent amount of candy, and you're on your merry way.
Yeah, so definitely with Halloween coming up, start buying now. I mean, that's the thing. Don't wait till the last minute.
Oh, no, because none of the good candy is going to be left.
Right, none of the good candy. In fact, we'll be buying probably this coming week. We usually do.
And then you're going to have to keep me and Faith out of it.
and
Grandma.
And then here's my thing about pumpkins, okay?
I do want to do pumpkins.
We'll probably end up buying pumpkins here in the next week. If you're lucky enough to live somewhere where you could go to a pumpkin patch, those are usually a lot of fun for the kids.
The one patch we usually go to is not planted yet. The family farm that we usually go to.
The one on the east side?
If you were going down to like Chill Coffee and whatnot.
Okay, well, no, that one that's closed now. They closed up and sold the
Rennick?
Yeah, they closed up. The couple
they did a festival. Didn't they do a festival almost every year?
Almost every year.
No, it wasn't them. No, it was the other one that did the festival.
The Rennick did too.
No, the Rennick just did pumpkins, and they had a shop and all that inside.
Now the last couple of years that they did, all they had was but there for a while they used to have the cornfield thing.
We went to the other one.
We were going to the other one, which is on the east side of Columbus.
Yeah, no, Rennick's.
Yeah, it used to be the big one we used to go to.
Have not planted their pumpkins.
They're not. They sold the property to somebody else. So
why?
Yeah, they don't have the market or anything like that anymore.
Oh, but the building's still there with all
the older couple that owned it retired.
Oh.
So yeah, and that's an unfortunate thing about farms and stuff. It was a traditional place
for us too.
It was a traditional place. We went there many years.
Dang it, Fabian's closed and out there closed. I'm getting sad over here.
Hey,
this is sad panda hours.
Trust me, you ought to.
Not sad panda.
There's so many things in my life that is closed up. But I mean that
sad gamer hours.
Yeah, if you honestly, if you live near a farm that does the pumpkin thing and go take your kids to it. Like the one farm that we also take the kids to that we have the last few years.
They usually do a little festival.
They do, yeah. They have all kinds of stuff for the kids to climb on, and they have a big pumpkin patch, and it's
make a day out of it.
Yeah, make a day out of it. Take an afternoon, go.
We only had one that we went to 1 or 2 years. It was towards Chill Coffee.
There used to be one.
It was a friend of yours, if I remember.
Yeah, he did that for a few years, and we did go to that one a couple times.
Surprisingly,
he had horses and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, I do remember that.
And some beautiful horses.
Nice big pumpkin patch. You had to cross a creek to get to.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, enjoy Halloween for what it is. A lot of people, like I said, have weird, and I think is weird things about Halloween. Halloween is just about dressing up and having fun. That's all it's really about. It's not about witchcraft and all that kind of stuff. And it's like we've always like
cozy up with your family to a nice Halloween movie every now.
Yeah, at the end of the night, usually what we'll do is my wife will
Nightmare Before Christmas, or Hocus Pocus, and
well, yeah, there's that stuff. But my wife will she'll make something in the crock pot, a good chili or a chicken noodles or something like that, and come home and have some soup and some bread and
warm up
and enjoy hot chocolate.
We usually wouldn't get home to 10 o'clock.
Oh
we
no!
We would be out for a good 3-4 hours.
I would say like 8 o'clock. But not saying we don't.
But by the time we get done,
right, with everything, even when we get home, we do our home things. Yeah, it'd be 10 o'clock before any of us even think about going to bed.
Or sometimes even start eating.
Yeah, because usually we'll put some. We got a little fire pit in the backyard. We'll put some wood in it. Let the kids, sit by the fire.
We should do that this year. I would love to do a Halloween fire.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Invite some of my friends over and
Yeah, we'll do that. We'll put the bonfire up
have to
and
talk to Mom about it.
and I think I gotta get another cord of wood or something.
Because Halloween is Thursday. Have to do it on the weekend.
So, but yeah, we'll set something up. But yeah, I guess we'll do the last two topics real quick.
Yeah. Wendy's, do that one.
Let's do the Writers Guild because that's going to be real short.
Yeah, I have no idea about this.
Okay, so the Writers Guild of America has pulled the Video Game Writing Awards out of their thing. The Writers Guild of America is kind of one of those weird I kind of put it. It's like a Golden Globes or something like that, but it's specifically to the Writers Guild, which the Writers Guild. You have to apply for this award. You have to be a member of the Writers Guild, and not all writers are. Unlike a lot of the actors, are part of the Actors Guild. They're kind of like the Teamsters version of for media and stuff. Let's see. I guess part of the problem is that
was you.
What was that?
Boxes. There.
Oh, okay. That's weird.
As my cheek makes love.
So not only did you have to be a member to even possibly get the award, but apparently you also the problem, and one of the reasons why they're doing away with it is because usually there's more than one writer on a thing. So apparently God of War has won this award. Even beat out Spider-Man, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Telltale Batman, stuff like that.
The Telltale Batman was really good, so it deserved it.
Sorry about that. I don't know what the hell is with my nose today. It's
Just
been
don't die.
It's been fine all day, and then all of a sudden it just started coming out. Yeah, Wendy's releases a tabletop RPG.
We're just talking about a lot of food places today.
Oh, you'll hear all kinds. I apologize to anybody who's been listening to this podcast this week. I'm sorry, it's horrible. So yeah, Wendy's releases a tabletop RPG, and it's the battle between the burgers. And this apparently
it's battle for fresh meat.
Well, battle of the burgers. So, I think this is in kind of response of the KFC releasing a date, apparently where they released a dating sim last month.
What?
Yes, it's so stupid. It made a blip in the news, so it was definitely not a big thing. So you have to save the Feast of Legends to battle the United Clown Nations. Oh my God, how many times are you going to drop that damn headset? What are... What, did you shit yourself over here? Is that what the hell's...
Did you not hear it?
No, I didn't hear it.
Did you not smell it?
Right now I can't smell nothing, but whiffing it at me is not going to help if my nose is clogged, okay?
Oh no, that would go straight through and clear you out.
All I heard was the crash of your headphones. Boy, this episode has really gone off the fucking rails today.
I had to check myself for a moment. I didn't know what was there.
Check yourself before you wreck yourself.
I thought I already wrecked myself.
Oh. You're killing me, Smalls. You're killing me.
Bloopers.
You're killing me. All right.
Take two.
So Wendy's released this RPG, and actually there were some hardcover books actually made. Doc is trying to see if he can get his fingers on one if possible.
Well, he has one downloaded.
But yeah, the RPG is available to download. You just do a search, you can find it.
I would love to do a stream for that.
There is some talk we might do that. Actually, especially if we do the tabletop simulator. Can you imagine what we can do with that? There's all.
We can do a bunch with that.
In fact, one of the Twitch streams that Doc likes to watch.
It's something Roll. Critical Role.
Critical Role actually did a sponsored episode.
Sandry will do some.
But yeah, no, it was Critical Role.
But like I just said, Keegan Sondry would do one every now and then.
But yeah, so and it was just filled with puns. It's hilarious. Like people are the people that were playing it were actually just rolling on the floor
And
laughing.
YouTube channel Tabletop.
Yes, I'm fully aware of people
I'm letting them know. I'm letting the people know.
But have actually played this RPG, and supposedly it's fleshed out pretty well. But yeah, the United Clown Nations, which is obviously a kind of attack on McDonald's.
Well, McDonald's, Burger King, Arby's, going after everyone here.
Yeah, there's all kinds of.
I mean, they go after Jack in the Box.
Yeah, there's burger puns all through this RPG. So we might actually play it.
That would be so interesting.
I think it'd be a lot of fun. There'd be a lot of puns. I warn you if we do that. It not only would
we
probably
might have to have it censored.
Yeah, it'd be.
Well, I already have mature content put up on the streams, so
yeah,
I have to with the people I play with.
So yeah, it's interesting, to say the least. Last and final topic, real quick. AMD 3950X has gotten delayed until November.
Of course. It's AMD.
Apparently they're having some production problems producing enough product, which might be the reason why 3900Xs have been hard to find.
Maybe.
But the 2700X went like half price. It's like $159.
Which one?
The 2700X. So the newer version of what I have, because I have the 1800.
Wait, which one's the one I have? I have a Radeon.
No. We're talking. These are this is CPU, not.
Oh, CPU, not
GPU.
I still need to figure out which one I have. A lot of people are asking me.
You have an RX 480.
RX 480, got it.
Yep, you have an RX 480. It's an XFS RX 480.
Yeah, because I talk to people a lot about how I can't stream Siege, and they're like, "Why? What's your graphics card?"
It's not the graphics card. Your problem is CPU.
Yeah, I have a good CPU.
You have a good CPU from about 5 years ago.
I know a guy who has a laptop. It's not even a new laptop, and he streams Siege perfectly.
I guarantee it's the CPU. For everything I've seen, because remember when we looked at we looked at the specs, it was like maxing out your CPU.
Because I had to have OBS and I had my stream up so I could make sure there was no hiccups.
Right.
Or see chat because this crap didn't work.
Yeah. So, CPU is definitely your bottleneck, and honestly, whenever I can finally afford a 3900X, I'll end up getting another board and an extra 16 gigs of RAM because I'm not giving up my 32. Are you over there? Are you over there cutting cheese? Oh my god. You need to take some gas axe because you know how you get when you start getting gassy. Then you get all bound up and tummy hurt.
Can we not say this on stream?
You bitch like a 2-year-old.
Anyone would. Anyone would if they wake up and their side's not doing what's
because all you need to do is take a number 2. I mean, that's...
And you can't because your stomachs are tied up in a knot.
Yeah, because you're all bound up. I don't know why. Even as a kid, he'd be like every few months he'd get that moment. If he started having.
Sorry, I can't go to school.
He started farting. We knew it was instant. Give him some gas axe because if not, he'd wake up in the middle of the night, coming to bed. And go, Mom, Dad, my tummy hurts. I haven't pooped in 2 days. Well, no wonder your tummy hurts. You haven't pooped in 2 days. My tummy would hurt if I didn't poop in 1 day. And I poop like 5 times in a day.
Yeah, that's not healthy.
No?
I poop twice.
It feels like 5 times a day, but really not.
I poop twice a day. Healthy would be 1.
A healthy poop would be 1?
Yes.
And not so healthy people number 2?
Because all crap is, yes, I'm saying all pooping crap is, it's like all the extra stuff that your body doesn't need.
Yeah, well, you have a lot more stuff you don't need.
That's fat. What do you mean?
God, this podcast this week is not brought to you by Gas X.
We are not
But if they want to sponsor us, we'd be happy to.
Oh God, no.
Yeah,
I don't want to test that.
Oh, dude, my only rule to something like that is
it better be good.
Well, no, it has to be. We have to be allowed to use puns. It has to be a pun-filled sponsorship.
If any place,
we have to be able to have a little bit of fun with it.
Yes,
that would be.
We'll give our honest opinion about it, and then we'll give pun. We'll have to be able to do pun.
If we were ever to do sponsors, it'd have to be something that we've either used or like, or it'd have to be something we just have fun with, like total fun with, like a poopery commercial.
Oh my God!
If you remember those,
I do.
Yeah, look that one up if you're not familiar. Look up poopery commercial. The girl is absolutely hilarious. Pun cake. I like that. That's a good one, Joe. All right, I think
we need to figure out sub emotes.
Yeah, I know. All right, so that's where we're going to end the podcast today. Thank you for everybody for watching. This is the Spidercast Podcast. We stream about 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Mondays, and we always say 8 p.m. ish because it does vary a little bit. You can find us on twitch.tv. Yeah, sometimes. We're on twitch.tv/SpiderArea713. You can also find us on major podcast services. You can find me at My Done Life on Instagram and Twitter.
And you can find me at SpiderArea713 on Twitter and that Spider's Nest 713 on Instagram.
And you can also find replays of the live show on his YouTube channel, My Life is Austin, which I think you were showing earlier.
Yep, I plugged it. I plugged earlier.
You shamelessly plugged.
I'm sorry. Not.
So, thank you for joining us. Have a great day. Have a great week, and we'll catch you next time.
Bye, everybody.
Transition.
Do.